Okay, fellas, this is a quick demonstration of the Nektar Panorama CS12 just for you guys. Friends, don't share this because I'm still embargoed. They don't want me to talk about it publicly yet, but I'll send this to you guys. So this device is connected to my computer via USB-C to a USB-A adapter. It's really elegant. It's well made. I think it is plastic shelled, but it's clean. It's metallic. Looks good. Feels good. I actually removed a control surface that was sitting here this morning. They were both sitting here, but it took up a lot of space, and I realized that I'm probably not going to use it very often since I have the Raven and this guy. So the soft tube 10 channel is in the box on eBay, ready to ship. So I get my desktop space back. All right, so the demonstration, this device is a device you'd expect it to be. It's a control surface, so it has the regular control surface functionality, transport, everything you'd expect from a transport device. It does have some cool features which allow you to change, which you can do in Logic with control key commands, but being able to control the loop length pretty easily right from the control surface is pretty cool. That you can't see it, but I'm changing how much of the song is looping off screen here. Actually, I can show you that. The loop in the yellow up top there. So I can change where that loop occurs just by clicking the right guide there. So if I go through here and select that entire segment, I can hold shift and click the right set, and it's now going to loop all of that, which is cool. And you can do it on the fly while it's playing as well. So I could change this second part. Watch. So now it's going to loop the second part of that entire loop, that segment, I should say. But I can easily go back here and start from there instead. Actually, I want it here. All right, so let's get into the functionality. So if I open up the plugins on that channel, you can see that the screen changes. You can probably see it, I hope. The screen changes to match what's displayed in the plugins. Everything from the circuit type, and you can see it tells you what plugins are available. Up top, the channel EQ, and I'll just start using it. I'll enable that low frequency, low pass filter, high pass filter, excuse me. Low cut, high pass, and I can change the Q, I can change the shelf, I can change the parametric filters, bandwidth. It's really elegant. All the Logic features work really well. I can bypass that plugin just by holding shift and clicking. Now that's bypassed, I can move on to the next plugin. Works with third-party plugins, but there is I'm gonna come back to this one. I'm gonna enable some stuff on it, but I'll, let's see if it's enabling that. Yeah, so now that's enabled, and I can turn up that Q and change its settings. It's hard to see because I'm sitting behind the camera, but you can see that it is in effect. And I'll bypass that plugin. I'll come back to that plugin in a second, just because, actually it was bypassed. I'll come back to that plugin in a second just because really cool. I'll come back to this plugin in a second just because its use case is kind of limited, but you can get around the limitations. All right, so you'll see that the Logic stock plugins are mapped and color-coded, so you can see exactly what you're using, whether it's the limiter, the side chain, even stuff you can't see is active. So if I click side chain here, I can control the side chain function. You can see that this knob I'm controlling is moving. It's really elegant, really clean, really precise. It also even has a magnify function. If I hit it, then the controls move slower, allowing even more precision. And this is true for the faders as well. What else? Let's move on to, I have a bunch of plugins loaded that I really don't need to show you, but let's show you what happens if I load FabFilter. Let's go back to FabFilter, if I can here. I can't see where I am because the screen is blocking. Okay, there's FabFilter, I think. All right, so let's go back to FabFilter and turn it back on and show you the limitation here. The limitation is that the buttons as they are currently set have a couple of pages and 24 functions, right? And so for FabFilter, there's a lot of controls per band. I think there's like 5 controls per band. So that means that, you can't control all the bands. I think you can have up to 10 or 12 bands of control on FabFilter. I haven't tested it because I've never needed that many. But once you go past the limited amount here, on page 2, I'm at the end of band 2, and so I haven't even gotten to band 3 yet, and I'm out of controls. But let's say I do open up a couple of bands, and let's use my mouse. They say that what they want to do is make it so that your mouse is still part of the process. They don't want to exclude the mouse from the process. They want to make it so the mouse and this device work together. And to do that, at any time, you don't have to necessarily map anything, because you can just use the select key. I don't know if you can see me. Yeah, you can see that. Hit the select key there. Automation comes online, and now anything I touch on screen here is now under my control using. Let me not say that before it works. Oh, it is working. Okay, so that's the bandwidth for that filter. If I could select the gain for that filter, yeah, the gain for that filter is up. Actually, I'm controlling the auto filter. All right, and now I'm controlling the bandwidth still. Okay, I'm over here. So it looks like, all right, I'm sorry. I'm not sure why it's not selecting the other thing. But anyway, you get my point. I can't see what I'm controlling, so I'm behind the camera. You get the point, though. Anything you touch, let's try an easier one. Let's stop the song from playing because you don't need to hear that completely. The same is true, by the way, for plugins like this, which are synthesizer plugins, which have a ton of controls. I can just, hopefully, in select mode, I can touch control, and then I have control of that knob. Oh, I'm still in. No wonder it wasn't acting. And even the fader controls that knob now. I don't know why it switched to this. I think I must have hit something. But even the fader is now, what am I hitting? Let's turn select button over for a second. I'm almost done, fellas, I swear. Even the fader, it allows control. Turn select back on. And even the fader can control. What is going on with this fader? When I touch the fader, it's supposed to be the same. That might be a bug. I'll have to do an error report. But you'll see that I'm controlling this volume knob. If I click this cutoff knob, I can control that. If I click this filter, I can control that. Chorus, pitch, I can control that. And it's very precise. I can move away from 0. And if I want to get back to 0, it's really easy to get back. It's really, really precise. I'm really impressed with it overall. So there are limitations to this. But for guys like me who use a lot of plugins, a lot of synthesizers, this is an advanced tool. One use case is, you can see over here, I have a Kai MPK2, which uses a controller, and this MPD226. This is set up to control functions on the synths. So I actually programmed it to control some of the synths, but the problem is the controls I programmed don't work the same on every synth, right? So I'd either have to tell Logic to recognize the same controls for every synth, or create presets on this device to control every synth. I'm not going to do that anymore, because this device, I can just hit the select button and control whatever I want real time, and that's automatable. If you hit auto button, it'll go live. As you can see, you can't see that, but on the channel, it just went into latch mode, and I can now automate that, and then hit auto again, it'll go to read mode if I capture something. It's really easy. I'm really impressed, and the device being $399 is amazing. There's only 2 devices with this focus functionality where you can hit the select button and control whatever's on screen. There's only a few devices that do that, and most are at a much higher price point. Only one is lower. It's a single fader Icon. Let's see if I can pull it up. Single fader Icon Nano. Their new device. The P1 Nano at $300. And this device is $400, and for $100 more, you get a lot more functionality. This device is cool, though. I will admit, it also has a display with beat time or SMPTE code. It has some programmable buttons on the front. It does not, however, offer the full plugin control that this device offers in Logic and other DAWs. But it does have some nice functionality. I do like it. I'm going to reach out to them and ask them to send that to me, too, so I can test it. And it does have a nice jog wheel, which this does not have. And for that reason, I'm keeping this device, this Behringer, just for the jog wheel. I'll probably go buy a $40 jog wheel and get rid of the Behringer at some point. But I do like having that little display with the time code as well. but I don't need a whole control surface just for that. So anyway, the device works well. If you want this kind of control, the Nano or this come in under $500. If you SSL comes up next at I think it's $699 for their one fader, UF1, I think it is. Yeah, the UF1 has this control. Oh, it's $700. So yeah, you're way up there to get that kind of control functionality. And I don't know if I would buy this device at a price point that much above the Nano I just showed you. It is an elegant device from SSL. You know it's going to be well made, and I like the metering. Those meters change on it depending on what you're doing. You can change them to different settings, and based on the plugins that are inserted on your master channel or other channels. That's really cool. I really think that's really cool, and I like the displayed metering there as well on the channel. And this button allows you to control, as with the button I showed you here when you're in select mode. They have a focus mode as well. I don't remember how you activate it on here, but there is a focus mode. I saw it in action, and it allows you to control whatever is on screen, whatever you're touching on screen. And that's really cool, but it's $700 for this device. Or you move up to the SSL UF8, which offers that control plus several faders, but you're talking, $1,300. So the feature set this device offers for $399 is amazing. I'm truly impressed. That's it. I think I'm going to stop now. I have to go master a song for someone. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.